Ooh, 1 second. Oh man. I guess I'll just get started because I definitely fucked up the link, but I will upload the video later. Thanks for stopping by, Trevor. I figured it could be just like a chill little thing where I just present all the marketing information that I've been collecting. I put together a presentation. So let's get started. I wanted to introduce myself. My screen name is Corrupt Arts. I'm an artist and an entrepreneur. Also, you can call me Pat. And I made this because I love writing and storytelling. And sometime soon in the future, I want to open my own studio and kind of create an animated series. And that's what sparked this whole thing. I kind of got I I came into a weird place in my life where I was recently fired from my job, and that was kind of like a big wake up call for me. And what followed was a series of like tiny acts of courage that sparked on this big movement that I'm trying to create, which is like getting this information out that I've found so helpful in my own life out to other artists. And in addition to wanting to be a good artist, I also want artists to be able to do things like this, to take big steps and do scary things. Because I want to create an environment, a space that is welcoming to people like us who are introverted and not that good at public speaking. And I want them to know that they have a space. But anyway, I had like a whole other thing planned, and I guess the reason why this webinar wasn't as well put together as I wanted it to be was because my heart really wasn't in it towards the end. I kind of lost my way, but I think this is important for the marketing that I'm trying to create, which is a marketing that is very human, very like you can make mistakes and it's not a big deal, right? I did all this advertising. I made all these posts about this marketing webinar, and I knew it wouldn't be, super great. But I still wanted to push myself to do it anyway. So I want the lesson other people can, the lesson I want other people to take away is that as long as you really believe in what you're doing, like this is an art, the art of marketing isn't clean, cut, and dry, and you can plan. You can do what I did and make a slideshow and put all this information into it and make a bunch of posts on Instagram and still not have a product at the end that is quite what you expected, but it still holds power. So I'm using Canva as like a now that that kind of intro is out of the way, I'm going to actually try and give you some concrete information, because I mean, if you didn't hold yourself back by thinking that you'll look bad in front of others, you would be able to do so much more. And if you didn't hold back in other areas of your life and you just went at it with this type of energy where you know it's not going to be perfect, and yeah, that's hard because we've been programmed. We've been kind of brainwashed into thinking that things have to be a certain way, like they have to be presented in a certain way. And that's why advertising feels so awkward to people. And that's what I was struggling with, because it feels like it's not part of you. So there's more than one way to market yourself. There's more than one way of showing up in a way that's authentic, that will still get you participants, that will still get you followers and people who support you. And that sparks other action. And sometimes your audience will reward you in the form of currency. Going through my notes here really fast. Sometimes you don't have to think about things as much as you think you should. And that sounds like a bad idea, right? But every action, every step you take is not useless action. It is action that is building towards something bigger, something that you can't even imagine, right? And that's been such a profound lesson in my own life. It's what's been sparking this need to act in my own life. And I know how powerful it is because I have good ideas. Other people have good ideas. Everyone has awesome ideas, but they stop right before like doing that because their inner critic comes out and picks apart everything, and we judge ourselves so bad for even thinking that you could pull something like that off. And that's such a tragedy in my eyes. And the only way to get over like that fear, that big ass like chasm, is part of like the brainwashing that's happening. So I'm gonna kind of go into the history of this guy. His name is Frederick. Hold on. Frederick Winslow Taylor. He was a guy in the early 20th century. When I edit this later, I'll probably add like a little graphic. But he was the father of modern management culture. He invented what was called the scientific management method, which was evolutionary at the time, because during that time, in the early 1900s, a factory manager didn't hang around their employees, and they would just leave them to their own. They would just leave them by themselves, and a day's work was a day's work, and it didn't matter how much. It was just basically people were being paid for the job. So there was no incentive to work harder. There was no incentive to quote unquote work harder or make work more efficient. And that's what Taylor sought to fix. And he was a mechanical engineer, and that rubbed off on his own beliefs because his goal was to create a more efficient workplace, to increase corporate profits. And he basically treated people as robots whose only purpose was to produce content. And that's terrible, right? We're not robots. Humans can't produce work endlessly. But our society, the way our society is made up is that we believe that, we demand things to be consistent. We demand things to be a certain way because that's how it's always been. And another thing that Taylor, well, I think that's really important. I'm going to omit that from my presentation. So we still believe that there's one right way to do something, and that's simply not true. There are so many ways to do everything. So I want people to make marketing their own. I want people to be able to show up in their own way, and in that way create their own path. It creates their own community of people who want to support them. So yeah, I did write down like 3 steps that you can do if you want to show up, if you want to be able to show up consistently marketing your whatever you do, not just your artwork, because the thing about artwork is it takes so long. And I'm honestly tired of artists being this group of people who have to only post their artwork, and we never see their faces. We never know anything about them, because I feel like that just creates kind of a barrier between. Sometimes that barrier is intentional, I get it, but I am getting so jaded by the fact that no artist wants to be real. So that's really my purpose. So number one thing that you should do when you're marketing is to show up like a normal person. And I hope more artists can embody that. Number two is to stand behind the work that you make and know the value that it has. Even if you can't see it, other people will surprise you with the things that they take from you that are valuable. And number 3 is to let people know what you can do. You kind of have to show up. And today I had that breakthrough that in my business, I want to be able to show up even when I'm not 100% perfect, even when I'm not there, because I'm starting to learn that my business and I are like a partnership. It's not this thing that is separate from me. It is this thing that works with me. It is like my friend, and my friend wants what's best for me, and I want what's best for my friend, which is my business. And what that takes is showing up when you're not perfect. So I think I'm going to end it there. I've been talking for, it hasn't even been that long, maybe 20 minutes, but I think that's all I have to say for right now. I want to thank anyone who showed up today. It's kind of hard to see. I know Trevor was here, so hi Trevor, thank you for showing up and saying hi, stopping by and saying hi. But yeah, you can find me on Instagram. I can't wait to talk with you guys later. Okay, bye.